Why is Hex better than Bitcoin? Well, first of all, it's the fundamentals of the code. Fundamentals of code are better than Bitcoin's fundamentals. The inflation model is better than Bitcoin's inflation model. The staking feature is better than a mining feature. It's new tech versus old tech. It's decentralized versus centralized. Yes, all of those things. Oh, hello, Hexicans, Cryptopians, Crypto Pirates, the likes, all of you. Welcome to Chattin with the Gavin. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out and supporting us. Appreciate you. This is coming from the guy who's been streaming the longest community-wise for the Hexicans. Captain RG3, you're captain. Still not quitting. Letting the FUD just flow over me. Letting the criticism flow over me. Why? Because I've been called and told worse things by much better people. But thank you all. Thank you all for the feedback. I appreciate some of you. Some of you can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, another episode with a Hexican. Yes. First, let me rip on a couple of things here. We've had an excellent up week so far. A little calming, but you know what? I think something is amiss because the weekend's coming, and I love Friday pumps. Maybe the effing hangout will get us a pump. Let's see. Who's in the chat room tonight? We've got about 20 of you here. Melv Tony, good evening. Good evening to everybody else. Usually I got the chat going, but it's not moving unless anybody's in it. Is everything live? Are we live? Is it going? Somebody say something. It looks like everything's live. Got levels. Audio's on. Didn't leave the audio off. I didn't have a thumbnail either tonight. I think my producer's busy streaming, doing something else. So there we go. Hey, what's up, Hex Rockstar? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So we've had a good week going up. The SEC is getting battered, absolutely battered. We had the Coinbase, I guess, ruling go through, and it looks like the SEC's got its back up against the wall again. Richards also had a little change. If you looked at the legal filings, he had a couple extra lawyers pop in, asked to be introduced. It's funny, you read the legal paperwork, and there's all this freaking big words and proper English and all that stuff in there, and when you get the gist of it, Richard asked if, hey, can these two lawyers come hang out and help out? And then the judge says, yeah, they can. That's good. So that's kind of what happened. Yeah. So Rockstar says the judge was handing easy arguments to Coinbase's lawyers, apparently. I guess. I mean, the whole thing is not very difficult to break down and show how bad the SEC has been conducting themselves during this whole time. They've literally, through enforcement, wreaked havoc on average, ordinary, good people trying to find an asset class, something that they can put in their portfolios to change their lot in life. And I don't understand how they can, in the name of helping people, they're harming everyone. They're stifling innovation. And it's beyond me why. Well, it doesn't even look like it's being allowed. It's almost comical, to be honest, the approach. It's almost like they're trying to get slapped down, but we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. it's not looking good for the SEC. It's looking real good for crypto. Everything's moving. They're approving things. The money's flowing in. Oh, the money is flowing in. My goodness. The last 2 days, yesterday morning, Bitcoin must have had, there was about a 1 hour period of time between about 9 and 11 o'clock yesterday morning where I literally watched $1 billion just flood right in. Not flood in. Let's rephrase that. The movements that I watch are OTC moves, over the counter trades, so that it doesn't affect the price on the exchanges. People transferring value back and forth between wallets and exchanges and whatnot. So big moves yesterday and today. So last 3 days, monster moves. Last time we saw the monster moves, it took it's almost like an accordion effect. You kind of see it like bow getting pulled back tighter and tighter. But yeah, it's definitely moving again. Looks like once you see the little lull, then boom, a bunch of stuff behind the scenes moves, and then wham, it comes back in. And if you've been around for crypto cycles, you'll see that usually what happens is institutional money or money starts flowing in, backdoor deals start happening. You see OTC trades, you start seeing people moving Bitcoin back and forth, because that's the blue chip is Bitcoin. That's where the value flows in from. And then after that, you see the Bitcoin wallets that moved that value over to other wallets start to move into the altcoin spaces. So that's why they have Bitcoin season, altcoin season. And it's really just an ebb and flow of people moving their value around. Because here's the one thing. People in crypto who have big monster Bitcoin bags or Ethereum bags or any of the old blue chip bags, those guys aren't stupid. I mean, look at Godwell, for instance. Go look at Godwell's wallet. Look what is in there. Look what Godwell makes plays on. So these big bags move into the multiple X's. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for X's. They're not looking for percentages. Bitcoin's going to do what? Percentages? We're not going to be talking in Bitcoin in X's anymore, or Ethereum even in multiple X's. Smaller market cap, smaller coins are going to do that. For instance, Hex, PulseX, Ink token, Ink on the rise. How about that Ink token, guys? So anyway, that's what we're going to see is ebb and flow. You're going to see things moving like that. Nothing new under the sun. It does it the same way every time. Just going to be more volume coming in, more Bitcoin being moved, more value coming into the system, and more of it being shuffled around to the X coins. Unfortunately, that means all the doggy coins, all the meme coins, all of the NFT projects. And I don't want to shit talk NFTs, but they're just one of those things that's keeping crypto relevant, I guess, because people like them, people dig them, buy them all the time. So just given reality, we could like these things or not. We could like these other coins or not. They're going to do their thing though. And that's, the problem or the solution, because the solution is we want number to go up. We want adoption. We want people coming in. Myself and a bunch of the other, folks that have been around for a while, OGs, they call them. We've been in and out of all kinds of shit. Some of them did well, some we didn't, but everybody did what they could to try and make their way. So there's going to be a lot of people doing that again, moving around. And then hopefully once they get settled in, like most of us did, they'll understand what real crypto is, what real DeFi is, what they need to be in, where they can put the value of their money and get the best bang for it, where they can be treated well, where their money and their time and effort and gas and everything else that they spend will be treated well. And that's over here on PulseChain. And for the long haul, Hex, that's where they should be. So anyway, without any further ado, I don't want to waste any more time chit-chatting, because I have a guest and he's sitting in here waiting patiently. So this gentleman Hexkin, OG Hexkin. Donal, a friend of mine now, lives out here in my area, Southern California. He has a place called Hexotic Rentals, and we're going to talk about how that came about and how he put that together. And he's helped us multiple times with the tour last year. And this year he's helping us with the kickoff. So the first big party, the first big PulseChain Tour party and kickoff is going to be at Hexotic Rentals in Irvine. If you go to, let me see if I got I don't have the producer in here right now. Let's see. Let me find, here it is. And boom. Hexotic Rentals, Better Than Bitcoin Seminar on January 27th. There it is. Real estate meets crypto. There we are. I'm going to keep that running because that's what we got going on. So anyway, he's helping us out. We're getting fired up to get started on January 27th. Want to see you all there. Hey, fly in if you can, get here and come hang out with us and come meet Donal. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Donal Lopez. What's happening, dude? Oh, goodness gracious. Look at that.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm sorry, bro. It was like,
there
oh,
you go.
that fine piece of machinery you got behind you right there.
How you doing, RG?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Just another day in paradise.
Look at you, dude. That car back there is staying. Wait a minute. Look. So it looks like you're on a green screen. Would you do me a favor and walk back over to that car real quick so everybody can see it?
Yeah,
That's not a green screen. This is really your. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's not a green screen for sure. Yeah, man. So this is the office. This is the spot. This is our temple, our man cave, we could call it, where all the hexagons come and hang out. So
yeah, dude, it is quite the man cave you got there. I mean, it's like, so I'll explain it to people from somebody who went there to visit. So I get there for the first time and I'm saying, I was buying a bunch of cars and shop or whatever. They opens the doors and it's like Hex, PulseX everywhere. He's got a whole wall that's completely just lit up hexes. I mean, the whole thing is just party central. Like it's got offices in the front and then party in the back, full bar, sauna, massage rooms, tattoo parlor. They got a tattoo parlor in the place. I mean, it's just insane, man. Insane. So tell everybody a little bit why you come up with Hexotic Rentals and I mean, obviously you're a young entrepreneur, but what made you create this?
Yeah, man. So we started, I mean, I've been a Hexagon since day one or way before Hex came out. I was following Richard Hart, looking at his old videos. It was actually helped me get through a couple of scams that I got involved into where I put a lot of money. There was a bunch of them, right? I don't want to mention names, but yeah, I just saw Richard Hart, started watching his videos and learning from everything he was saying. So right around the time when Hex went live, I had all this last little bit of money that I could get, and I just went all in first day on the adoption, right? So I was one of those guys. But then I just saw it. I took some loans, which I don't recommend people doing unless you have high risk tolerance, right? But I didn't care. I was just full on, this is it. This either make it or break it, right? But that was my last hope on crypto. So I just went all in pretty much. And then just Hex started taking off, started going. All of the haters around me were just like, what the hell? What are you doing? Now let me get into this. First, they were all talking, crap, talking shit, right? Then all of them slowly started joining the team, and I onboarded pretty much all of them. Yeah, and then I was renting cars from this local guy, good friend of mine, Ali. And then one day I was like, you know what? Like every time I would go to a shop, it was a nice, very nice looking shop, just like mine. And then all this like entrepreneurs, business owners, people with a good job, right? Would just come hang out, rent a bunch of cars. And it's like, oh man, you know what? I need to get into this kind of people and start promoting Hex, on board some people with bigger bags, right? So then I talked to my friend Ali, and I'm like, hey, what if I just buy a car and I rent it out through you? And then I came up with the name of Hexotic. It's like, hey, the name people would ask why Hexotic, and then it would be like a good introduction to the coin, of course. So yeah, that's how it all started. Then once I built the name, and I've been renting out a lot to local people, and then I get people flying in, pick them up at John Wayne. I'm like 5 minutes, well, actually like 2 minutes away from John Wayne. So if anybody wants to come to Orange County, LA, we can pick you up, bring you to the shop. We have now a nice place. I'm trying to make it like a whole one-stop shop, right? So we have the two, like you mentioned, we have the two parlor here. We have two artists full time. We have a sauna. We have a massage room. So we're gonna get a barber coming up soon.
Oh, nice.
So we're trying to make it into like a one-stop shop for, the ideal vacation, or somebody that wants to take a day off or treat themselves to a nice weekend. So yeah, that's how it started. And we've been going strong ever since.
Right on. We need a walk-in humidor there too. We need a cigar lounge and walk-in humidor.
Actually, my neighbor has a cigar lounge. So
oh, really?
yeah, I take some people. It's like across, like 2 doors down. So he has a nice lounge. So we go down there, but we kind of make it a cigar lounge here too. So it's whatever people want.
Right on, right on. I like that. Hey, let me answer a question. So Greek Mythology Club, it was asking if I wanted to come visit, how do I go about it? Well, what Donna was saying is literally you just fly into Orange County. There's an airport here called John Wayne, or Orange County Airport, and he's 2 minutes away. Like, you come fly in, he'll come pick you up and get you in the car that you rent. So yeah, so he's right here next to the airport, and in the area of Orange County, like around the corner. That's where you see all of the Orange County housewives and stuff literally live just right up the street from that area, and they go to all the clubs and bars and restaurants right there. All of the filming you see in those shows is all done right there where Donald's at.
Yeah, man, and all Hexicans, this is a Hexican based business, right? So anybody that it's a Hexican that comes and rents, they get 30% off. Yeah, which in some of my cars, the way this business works is obviously they're not all my cars. There's a lot of private owners. We broker cars to other rental companies, but anybody that's a Hexican, I don't need to make money on people, right? Especially their family. So, or a Hexican family. So yeah, they get the discounts, man. We'll take care of them. Such as I think the best way is Instagram, or you can go through the website, but Instagram is the best way to reach out. And then you just put in, hey, I'm a Hexican, what's up? And then we'll make sure you're taken care of, man.
Right on. Right on. He's taking care of me, that's for sure. Gave me that Lambo for the day. That was nice, man. When I drove that Lambo around the beach, that was nice. Really nice. I want to ride that Porsche soon.
I didn't see any of those photos though. You got to send me those photos.
Oh yeah, I'll send you all the photos. We did a photo shoot there, and we did it with the Lambo and stuff. And yeah, it was cool. A lot of fun. So you played around in crypto. You were probably in all the other stuff, the BitConnect, the Bit Clubs, and all that other shit that we were USI Tech and all that stuff that we all played with back in the in the day. But then what made you start to see things through Richard Hart? Were you watching his videos? What was it that even made you go towards Hex? I mean, if you were in all this other shit and you were tired of it, what would make you look at something? Because Hex was being called a scam everywhere at that point.
Yeah, man. It's just the way Richard Hart talks and the way he makes his message across. Is like sometimes you don't even fully understand what he's saying, but he's just such a good person. Like, you get that vibe listening to their videos. They're full of knowledge. You're like, oh my God, this guy is amazing, right? So yeah, just listening through his videos, it really clicked. I went based on gut feeling, and my guts told me, you know what, this
This guy.
sounds like a good project. This sounds like is the one. So
Here's
I just
something.
went.
Here's something that
Yeah.
just hit me, and it's a phenomenon to me. It's like, well, wait a minute. I mean, I'm a pretty good. I look at myself as a pretty good judge of character. I've been around for a long time. I've seen good people. I've seen bad people. I've interacted with both of them. I've been screwed over by good people and bad people. I've been, done right by good people and bad people. And I've come to think that I have a pretty good judge of character. And when I see folks that gravitated towards Richard in his early teachings and whatnot about crypto and his sci-fi stuff, I've noticed that the people that I meet that found Richard that way and believe in what he's saying and what he's taught seem to be really good, intelligent, in the know, on top of things, people, entrepreneurs, the best of the best. Like all the Hexicans that I meet are good people. Now, the detractors that I've met are really, for a lack of a better term, fucking turds. Like I met Eric Wall. Didn't impress me. Nice enough guy. We hung out for the evening. Funny, laugh. He's a troll and a half. But other than that, the shit that comes out of his mouth sometimes is just ridiculous. Same with all the rest of them that I met in person. BitBoy, Altcoin Daily, all those people that I've met.
It's a lot of nonsense. Yeah.
I just don't see like the quality of people in all of them, and the detractors and the people that have something to say against Richard or Hex or whatever, that I do when I see people that are understanding what he's doing. It's definitely, we are not the same. Those people and us are not the same.
Well, I feel like you have to be open-minded, right? Especially anybody that first looks at Richard's videos, whether they're old or new. A lot of people just like to judge based on whatever they see right away or whatever he's saying. But like, if you're open-minded and you just kind of listen to the message, without really judging. I hate judging personally. Who am I to judge, right? So you just have to look at things from a outside perspective, right? And then just get the message across. Forget about what he's wearing or what he's saying or which method he's using, whether it's, hate me or love me, whatever it is. It's just the message that is being sent across. I think that's what really counts for me. Yeah, so a lot of people don't see it that way.
A lot of people didn't see it that way. Well, I think a lot of people, rather than they skipped off the surface of finding out what Richard and Hex and everything was all about, because it was like it's one thing to have known. Look, when I first saw Richard, I didn't think a whole bunch of him as far as his top hat and everything. He looked kind of goofy, but he had substance. There was substance and there was something there. So that's why I was even interested in continuing to listen to him. And then as time went on, I was like, wow, this guy is really smart. This guy really cares about what he's doing. And he was growing on me, his personality and everything. And I was like, okay, I like this guy's his take. And then when he started spewing out his intelligence when it came to crypto and investing in it and Bitcoin and what was going on, I was like, wow, this guy's on a different
sharp.
level.
Yeah.
He's on a different level. And then I started to see little things. So we got in and saw Richard from a different angle. And then a lot of people were introduced to him like, hey man, I'm going to make $1 million this year. You got to come check this guy, Richard Hart, out. Oh, whoa. So when your friend comes at you that way, right? It's like jumps out of the bushes like, I'll get you fucking rich in crypto, man. You got to do the Hex, Richard. So what does that person do? Is like, whoa, my friend's like fucking on something, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to hit the Google, Richard Hart. Oh,
the Google, man. Yeah.
Oh,
I got a lot.
Man.
I got a lot of crap based on that.
Yeah. And it's like, no, did you know that he's a scammer? Like, no, what are you talking about? Yeah, it says right here he's a scammer. They call him the
first five things that pop when you look it up is scam. It's like, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
It is and
he was the spam king. Oh, I remember the spam king thing. That was like a big deal. Like people were like, oh my gosh, he's the spam king. And it's like, guys, if you put it in context, like Richard got caught spamming before anybody got caught spamming. Like it was an entrepreneurial endeavor to go out and get as much advertising through the email and whatnot that he could. And they said, oh, hey, you're bothering people. You got to stop that. And then, I mean, it was basically, he was a guy that set it up to where you couldn't, spamming wasn't an issue, and it was really just him being an entrepreneur using technology and, advancing his marketing. So that was like, okay, well, that falls on deaf ears. And then all the rest of the stuff that happened to him overseas when he got robbed, they robbed him, and then they try and turn it around and make it look like he had done something when they took him and his house and everything away from him, and he had to leave that country. It was so bad, So all of this stuff, a lot of people, that was their first impression. So I think that caused a lot of issues in the beginning, and probably even made us even a little tougher or harsher, because it was one thing to have like crypto coming at us, and it was another thing like with crypto coming at us and your friends and family telling you, nah, man, you got this wrong. That dude's a scammer. You're what's the matter with you? I mean, did you experience that too?
Especially coming from, all of these other scams, right? All these other like companies. Oh man, I've been in so many Ponzi schemes, and even the worst ones that it's like, how could you do that? But I did them all, I took a lot of money from family, friends. Good thing I saved all of it. I like to save money, right? So I always give all the money back, even if I had to come out of pocket. But still, you lose credibility. So every time I try to introduce something new, like I don't have anybody else to talk to because nobody believes me, right? So I have to just do it on my own. So that's what happened with Hex. I came from like maybe 2-3 big like scams, I guess, Ponzi schemes or whatever you call it. And then I burned pretty much everybody. Like I was even involved in like my very first I guess business venture was prepaid legal services. I was back in high school, man, and that was horrible. They completely brainwashed me, and then I talked to everybody, friends of friends, friends of like, oh my God, it was crazy. Then nobody wanted to talk to me after that, just because I just went nuts. But well, I just learned.
And the network marketing business, I think it's a beautiful model, especially for teaching people how to become good salespeople. It's flawed in the fact that it too, because of its design, attracts a lot of scammers and people that aren't scrupulous, that have their own interest in heart versus the people that they're trying to service or serve or give product to. And I think that's where the breakdown is, in that industry. But if you're in it and you're learning it, man, what a great training ground to get one of the
great schooling. Because you're especially going against cold market, right? Or like, people that you don't know, just meeting someone random at a street or at a Starbucks and trying to like spark a conversation and trying to listen to you and sell them in the idea or whatever it is you're selling, right? It's it gets you out of your comfort zone. So I did learn a lot, like a good friend of mine told me, like, we don't lose, we only win or learn, right? So every time I fail or I lose money or whatever, I don't see it as a loss. It's like, you know what? I'll take it as a lesson, expensive lesson, but you still pay for school. You pay for everything, right? Education. So
that's wisdom right there.
That's how I see things. So, I learned a lot from all of those things. So that's kind of what helped me throughout the years to just kind of see things better, read people better, and then just kind of have a better mentality and a better approach.
I like that. I mean, that's real wisdom, and that's the kind of thing that helps grow people, yourself, your community, everything around you. Is that attitude right there. And I want everybody to understand what was just said here. This is important. I mean, this should be clipped because
that one quote kind of changed my life, so in a way. So
it can change a lot of people's lives, because here's what I know. Here's what I know, being the old man that I am, is the one thing that has done the most damage to me in my life is resentment. Resentment, or being angry at something that has happened to or around me, is it festers. It does you no good. It doesn't solve it's not a solution to something that has happened. Resentment is just something that eats you up and makes you do things that are not productive in your life. Now,
but even resentment can teach you a lesson, right? Yeah.
If you turn that around and you say, okay, it hurt, it cost me, it hurt a family member, a friend, or it cost them, or it did damage to something. Any way you look at it, you go, okay, there was a price that I paid for that happened to me or by me or whatever. Now, versus fighting back, getting angry, doing something to that person or that entity or that thing that you got involved with or you did that screwed you up, or your friend or your family or whatever. Instead of looking at it as something you have to go attack, that you have to go and get restitution from or whatever, what did you learn from that? And what are you going to take from it? Yeah. How are you going to go forward from there? How do you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, not look back and do the right thing and learn from it, and then teach others.
Make the same mistake again. Yeah.
Exactly. And teach others to be more vigilant, to watch things so that they don't get hung up in them. Instead of going, like I'm seeing in this community right now, a lot of people are attacking folks that may be making decisions or choices that aren't beneficial to themselves or to others around them. And instead of being an example of something different, or saying in an intelligent way, I don't think that's the accurate way to look at this, or that's the accurate thing to do, because we should never be telling people they're wrong, completely wrong, right? It should be, you're inaccurate and let me help you. And if they don't, then fine, move on. But sitting there and fighting people for their inadequacies, there's no point. And you're not learning anything.
Waste of energy. Yes.
It's a waste of energy. It turns into a fight, and then it gets personal. And then instead of, hey, I don't like the way you took an angle on this project, and now you should be careful of how you tell somebody about it or something like that. It's like, no, fuck you, your mother sucks. And and then it's, what did you say about my mama? And and then boom, now we got something to fight about, right? Now we got something to go at it for. And it just takes it and it puts it in a context that changes from having a conversation or discourse into, now we're fighting, motherfucker, and we're becoming enemies.
Now it's personal,
worthless to everybody, So
well, there's always a time that whenever, at least I try to do this myself. There's another thing somebody else told me on a random night, and it's like, hey man, if you're trying to make a point or have a message across, you got to choose the right time, right place, and right words, right? If any of those are off, then your message is not going to get across, and then you kind of wasted your time. So you just, whenever, especially if it's something sensitive or you're not happy about something, right? You just got to talk to that person and make sure the timing is good, the words are good, and the place is good, right? So I feel like if we all applied some of that into our lives, or it would avoid a lot of this drama and this, it's just crazy to me. But yeah, those are wise words for sure.
Yep. So something else I want to tap into about you, and that is you were day one. You pushed it all in, and we're not going to talk about the amounts or any of that kind of stuff. But anybody who pushed anything in on those days are doing pretty good. Did really good at all-time highs. Going to be doing even better soon. So you've done good. However, you're opening up new businesses. You've still got your old businesses. I mean, we haven't even taled about that. Hexotic Rentals isn't the only thing you do. You have other businesses there that's the
hobby. That's the hobby. That's the fun one.
So that's all. Yeah. Hexotic Rentals is really just your hobby and your man cave.
That doesn't pay the bills for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I mean, your other businesses that you have pay the bills, and you haven't quit. You haven't just hung it up
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, I'm just going to live off crypto and that's it."
Actually,
So
I thought about it I kind of did for a little bit, for a good 3, 4, 6 months, maybe. I just stepped back. That's when it was around 40, 50 cents, almost at the top, right? I thought I never
looking at
had to
those
work
bags
a day
going,
of
this,
my
this.
life, but I still didn't. So my main company, or what I've been doing forever, is construction. I have a remodeling company, so I do
Mhm.
kitchens, bathrooms, all interior remodeling, residential mainly. So I've been doing that for almost 15 years, right? So I have people that work for me. I have project managers, teams of guys that run all the jobs and that do the labor. I'm just a contractor, right? But like last year, like 2 years ago, around the pig, I was not selling. I normally go out to the job sites or like sell new jobs, run appointments, but I just took a solid break, and then I saw like how my company started to, like, like sales started going down, and I was like, oh, I don't care. But now I'm obviously, right when we started going down again, I'm like, you know what, I got to get back into it. So I've
Good
been
on you.
going strong. Yeah, going strong, and then just keep building. Yeah, you can never retire, man.
No, no, no. I mean, so
Yes, you can. I mean, right?
there's
You
well,
shouldn't.
you can switch. You shouldn't, and that's what we should say. Like, I'll give this advice, and I'll let you say the same. I think that once you've made it, once you feel like you've made it in crypto, go one more cycle.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And then
Exactly.
retire or
Yes.
switch up. I mean, for me, it was
Yes, that's a good one.
retirement for me was about not having to put the greasy boots on at zero dark 30 in the morning and then take them off at, dark 30 at night. And that was, for me, that was the biggest relief ever, was being able to leave the workforce, because I didn't own businesses. I had side businesses that did okay, but I never had a business that supported my family completely, that I could walk away from a job or whatever. I had to work that
Yeah.
job and then
Yeah.
have things
Yeah.
on the side. So I never was a real successful entrepreneur while I was working, because I couldn't put the proper time in. Because people think,
Yeah.
you get your own business and you make your own hours. Well, no, when you get your own business, you end up
You're a slave.
working more hours than you did as a worker,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And
You
then
just
your
you're
head
doing it
never
for you.
turns off at night. You lay on the pillow and you're thinking about everything. And then as soon as you wake up, you're thinking about everything. And, you know, so I
Yes.
think
Yes. Yes.
everybody should, go another cycle before you retire or
A
change
hundred
up.
percent. 100%. Yes. I'm not making that. I mean, not that I make a mistake, right? I took some time off, but I I started building other companies or other things. I didn't just went ham and spend all the money on crazy shit. I used a lot of the money that I cashed out on other other ideas, or I helped a lot of family, a lot of friends. First thing I did, bought my mom a house. My brother, I built them a fourplex, so each have their own house and a rental place back in my
Nice.
home country. I helped a lot of my friends out, started their own company, just
Nice.
provided like funds or whatever they needed. You need this, you need that. I got you. Let's go. So I
Yeah.
got all of my close friends to start their own business, and now they all have their own business. So that's one thing that I did. So
I'm
yeah,
glad
but
you said that, because that's something that we don't talk about a lot around here. Some of the OGs that have made some money or whatever, who, and we do these hex flexes and whatnot. But I mean, I
yeah,
think some of the
it's
biggest
bound to
hex
happen.
flexes is stuff that we're doing behind the scenes that we don't really talk about a bunch. Like I give to 2 different charities. I'm building other businesses. I've helped friends and family with their projects and some of their businesses, and help them get started in some things. And I think that's the biggest flex, is going out
Oh
there and
yeah,
actually contributing to growth and other people.
it's what makes you sleep better at night for sure. Hundred
Dang
percent.
right.
Yeah.
Dang
So
right.
we've been actually doing a lot of events here lately. Uh,
Oh, cool.
one of our last one was a toy drive. So we're trying to tap in more into the community and just give back.
Mm,
So we did a toy drive. We made a whole video. I think it should be on Instagram. But yeah, we got a bunch of toys. A lot of the companies around here. We had like a big party, cars, music, DJ, drinks. Then all the toys that we got, we drove them to TJ, Mexico. So
mm,
I linked up with this organization. They have about 13 orphanages where kids get
mm,
dropped off, or like parents they beat them or whatever, they don't treat them good, or they get
mm,
taken away by the state. So yeah, it's so sad to see. There's kids that are like 6 months old, all the way up to
mm.
like 14, 15, and a lot of those kids like stay there after they're 18, and they keep helping. That's their family. So we were
Yeah.
able to reach like I think we did 4 of those 12 orphanages, and we had a lot of toys and a lot of stuff. So that's one thing that I'm gonna start doing. Just do more events to try to hit all of those spots. It's different when you go down there and you see kids that are happy with like anything. Just it's crazy, man.
Oh,
So
dude, we gotta talk because I want to get involved with that because I was exposed to something when I was in the network marketing business. One of my mentors that was in the business, he very, very wealthy, owned lots of properties, had workers that worked for him that helped rebuild properties and whatnot. And one at Christmas, we would do the same thing. We did the toy drives out here in the Inland Empire, and we cooked for all the families, and we made
yeah,
free
yeah,
food
yeah.
and stuff, and fed them and give out toys and stuff. And one year though, he said, "Hey, I want you to help me with something." And all right, and we went shopping. We got all these toys, like brand new bicycles, all these toys, and all of a sudden, what are we doing? And he said, "Well, we're taking him over to this house here, one of my houses that I just had renovated." So he has this gentleman that works for him, guy from Mexico, just a solid construction worker, just knows everything from electrical to tile work to plumbing
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
framing, you name it. This guy knows it all and worked for him for many years. And he had a small house that he was renting from my friend, and he had 4 kids, and this house was in decent shape, but it was kind of beat up and old, and it hadn't been renovated yet. But he bought the house next door too,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
while he was working that year, he had the gentleman fix that house up because he was getting ready to rent it out. So he was fixing up the house next door to rent out, and so this guy worked all year. We went and got all these toys. So we take all these toys and we deliver them to the house that was renovated. It's brand new appliances, the whole thing. I mean, this place is
Wow, yeah,
beautiful,
yeah.
really, really nice. And so Christmas morning, he calls me up and says, "Hey, I want you to come over and see this." And boom, boom, boom. Thanks for helping me. And I didn't really. He just said, "Hey, I'm putting this together for somebody." And then when I got back over there the next day, he goes, "Now check this out." So he goes, "Come up with me." And we went up to the door, and he knocked on the door, and his buddy comes out, his worker comes out, and hey, Merry Christmas. I just wanted to hand him a card and stuff. And in the card, the guy opens a card and reads it, and it's Merry Christmas, but it's the keys to the
No
house next
shit.
door. So he gave
Wow.
him the house next door. And these kids, their Christmas was not, it wasn't, it was, they had a Christmas and everything, but he took them next door. And I mean, it was just bicycles and video games. And I mean,
Wow.
you
Yeah,
name it, the
yeah.
house was full for the kids, and handed it. And the wife was crying and the guy was crying. It was just like seeing wealthy people doing stuff like that. And then it not being on TV and it not being anywhere. And he just had one of his friends come and witness it, like, "Hey, I want you to come experience this and be part of it." And
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, it just brings you to tears. The guy was like,
A
you
hundred
know,
percent.
humble, and that's the kind of stuff that I want to see us doing, hex flexing. I want to see us
Hex, yes, yes. I
finding a
think we
family at Christmas and just going and changing their year because we went there and just loved them up and freaking took care of them, and maybe paid her bills for the year and got her back on her
yeah,
feet,
yeah,
and
yeah.
single
And I
mom or something with kids, doing something
and
like
I
that. There's
that
plenty
would
of
be
families out
amazing.
there
Yeah.
that we could find,
Oh, a ton, man. Yeah, a ton. We try to help as much as we can, and yeah, we don't document everything. We kind of started taking some videos and stuff just because people like to see things like that. It helps,
Yeah.
People like give us a different name, like, oh, these guys are not just about cars, but they're actually trying to help, right? So,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, I'll be happy to help in any of those things. Or if you know any families, especially having nice cars around, like we've taken some kids with autism and Down syndrome. There's a kid that every time we have an event, I invite him personally, or whenever I get a new car, I call his dad. His dad is a private investigator. He rented a car one time, and then we became friends. His kid has Down syndrome, right? So every time I get a new car, I don't even charge him anymore. It's like, hey man, just come. He just rents the car because his kid loves cars. So whenever I get a new car and I tell him, hey, bring your baby, stop by.
Come
So
check
yeah,
out the car.
it's yeah, or yeah, anything like that makes puts a smile on the kids, right? You can change lives by doing little things. So
Yeah.
I'll be happy to help or put something together. Some
Yeah.
new
Let's plan something for next
Hex
Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm down
yeah.
with that.
Is the new Bull Run Hex Flex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
That would be
I'll be
really
down.
cool. Right on. All right. We'll definitely chat about it. So what's your plans for the party? What do you got planned for the party?
Oh, I'm excited, man. We got a DJ confirmed. It's a good friend of mine.
Oh,
He's gonna be DJing. I have a bartender, good friend of mine as well. She works in all of my events. Uh, so we'll have a bartender, DJ, nice lighting, fog machine, the disco ball, the whole shebang.
nice.
Uh, so that's gonna be ready to go. We're pretty much all set up. Um, we have all the tables, everything we need for the event. I'm trying to get a lot of my friends to bring out like cars and things just to make it a nicer,
Big show.
hype the event, right? Of course.
Right
Uh,
on.
so yeah, we should be having around 10, 15 supercars parked out front. Uh,
Nice. Very
so that's
nice.
that's yeah. So it should be a nice event, definitely.
Nice. And that is what is that behind you? What Ferrari is that? That's a
Oh,
Ferrari.
so right, that's a Ferrari Pista,
A
488
pista.
Pista. Yeah, that's a
Woo!
track. That's a track, baby. Yeah,
Yes.
so
That's
we have
lots of
that.
car. Lots of
That
car right
just
there.
that just came in yesterday, actually. So we'll have it here for next couple months.
Very nice.
So yeah, we have a couple. I know you're a Porsche guy, so we have your Porsche here,
Yep.
ready for
I
you
saw
whenever
that.
you want to pick it up.
Yeah, I saw that up there. I saw that. Which Porsche is that?
See
I
if
can
you
only
can
see it
see
from
it. That's
underneath
a
because it was
Actually, I don't know if you could see it. It might be dark, but we have the Speedster,
the
Porsche
speedster underneath.
Speedster, 1956, and then we have the 911
Uh,
Turbo S on top. So I
Okay,
don't know if
that's
you
a
could see
turbo
it. Can
S.
you see it there? Probably not. It's a little dark.
That's my car. That's the
Yes,
Turbo S. Oh,
Turbo S, man. That's my favorite car to drive for sure.
man, man,
But
what
yeah,
a machine that is. That is a heck of a machine right there.
yeah. So
I
we'll
mean,
have some cars. We'll have some hype definitely. We'll put in a show for all the
nice,
Hexicans. So we'll definitely take care of everybody.
nice, right on. Well, everybody, that's going to be January 27th. We'll be over there kicking off the PulseChain Tour with Donal at Hexotic Rentals. Anything else you want to throw down before we pop off? Anything you want people to do, see,
Yeah, I
go by?
mean, I don't know. I know a lot of the Hexicans don't really like Instagram, but if you guys have Instagram, right, follow me on Instagram, Hexotic Rentals. Then we started a new tattoo parlor, Hexotic Ink. Everything's with an H in the front, right? Hexotic Ink. And then we're starting Hexotic Wraps. So we're
Oh,
wrapping cars as well. Instead of outsourcing all of the wrapping for this car, so we're just doing it in house. So,
nice.
so if you guys will give us a follow, that would be nice. So
Yeah,
Hexotic Inc., Hexotic Rentals, and
exotic wraps.
Hexotic Wraps. Yes, those are the three babies right now. So
Nice.
trying to bring
Right
the
on.
the, the name Hexotic everywhere, man.
Love it. Loving it. All right, my man. Well, thanks for coming on. We'll see you in the next week and a half here. 2 weeks.
Appreciate you having me, man. It's been a pleasure and an honor. I've been a fan since day one. I'm always watching your streams and everybody. So I really appreciate everything you guys do. I mean, it changes lives for sure. So
it does. I appreciate you being an example out there for everybody, and continuing to do your thing, mixing Hex with it, keeping crypto in front of your game, but still taking care of business. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it. All right, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you, bud. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming, hanging out. We've got the effing hangout day after tomorrow. I should be on. I do have to go to Vegas tomorrow. I'm going to be on with Dollar Cost Crypto in studio. Also, I'll be out there with Charlie, and we'll be talking some stuff out there in Vegas about what's going on in Vegas. If you haven't checked it out, look, if you're going to Vegas, everybody get to Vegas. Vegas is cheap, guys. Very, very cheap to get to Vegas. Come to Vegas, March 6th to the 9th. Big seminar in Vegas. Go to PulseChainTour.com and check that out. We have to have the rooms rented out by February 2nd. That's when the block is closed and we don't get the rich bitchin' badass deal. So book your hotel for Vegas before the 4th. Okay, I thought it was the 2nd. For the 4th, for February 4th. February 4th. So you can get the bitchin' deal on the rooms. Get you out there easy. And going to be a badass time in Vegas, guys. You don't want to miss the Vegas event. Vegas events are the best because we got all kinds of cool stuff, events, fun, and plus it's Vegas. It's Vegas. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Thanks for coming. We'll see you on the next one. Why is Hex better than Bitcoin? Well, first of all, it's the fundamentals of the code. The fundamentals of the code are better than Bitcoin's fundamentals. The inflation model is better than Bitcoin's inflation model. The staking feature is better than a mining feature. It's new tech versus old tech. It's decentralized versus centralized. Yes, all of those things